I'll tell you what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is a joke. It's a myth. Rehabilitation has got the intention of getting people that are rebels and anarchists against the system to forget their power and give in and say, oh, we're wrong, and give all the power back to society, to the government and the police. Now, I had my property taken away from me due to arson I committed in 2009. And the reason I committed arson was because I had been pushed in a corner by the police. I'd had an injunction put on me to a property that I was still paying the mortgage on. I was still paying the mortgage. I took a partner back in under my wing, and I'd agreed to put her on my mortgage and make her half of my mortgage, which was a stupid move. She'd moved in with a fella in Northampton. She'd stolen all my furniture while I was at work. She'd taken all my furniture away. 17 years I put up with this. And she stole all my furniture while I was at work. She premeditatedly got a removal van. She stole all my furniture. And then she sweet talked her way back in. And silly bastard here took her back. And what did he do? For a bit of security, he put her on his mortgage for an house that he'd been working 7 days a week to get a little bit of Britain. And then what did she do? She stole the whole lot off of me. She started holding seances after my father committed suicide, telling me and my mother that my dad was in the room. He was sitting in the corner. He was talking to her. She tried to drive me into mental insanity, which she nearly did. So I found out, why was she behaving like this? She was behaving like this because she was a nurse at the Northampton General Hospital and she was stealing drugs, diazepam, Valium it was called. She was taking boxes and boxes of Valium. She couldn't sort out reality from fiction. She joined a spiritualist church. She went off a rocker. She was saying she could see my dead father. She drove me and my mother into insanity and the police sided with her. I decided that I was going to split up and I wasn't having no more of it. So the house I'd bought it on the long period and it took me a lot. I was fitting them days. Oh, believe me, I was fitting them days. And I worked at the scrapyard, Charlie Perkins in Kettering. And I used to work from dawn till dusk. I used to work from 5 in the morning till 10 at night in the summer. And she took the lot off me. I bought the first piece of the house. I'd split up with her in Northampton. Oh yeah, she'd chuck me out because I was living with her. So I came to Kettering and I managed to rent a house, which I ended up buying for £30,000. So then what happened was she wanted to come back. So she come back because her lease had run out on hers or something. So she wanted to be mates again. Yeah, I'll come back. So she come back. So then silly boy here, the house was called a flying freehold. It was half of somebody else's property which shared a drive. So I took a mortgage out because I never had no more money, and I borrowed money and I paid it back, and I took out a mortgage for £20,000, which I thought was all right. I paid £10,000 I had down. and I owed £10,000 on a mortgage, which is a very small amount of money to owe on a mortgage. Oh, she'd come. She went again. She'd gone. She'd come back. Silly bastard here took her back. Put her on the mortgage. She stole my house off of me. She drove me to insanity. She stole my house. She had an addiction. She was a clothes thief. She would go into stores, steal clothes. She had a 20-foot wardrobe full of stolen clothes with all the labels cut off. The police knew all this. The police knew this. The police were involved. There was something going on with some police officer called Matt Appleby. And I believe he was involved in the incident. He knew known to her from the hospital. So I reported 30 boxes of diazepam, which is a large amount of tablets to be holding in your wardrobe or in your cupboard as one person. I went in. I photographed them all. I had an injunction put on me to stay away from a property that I owned, which is hard to swallow when you're still paying the mortgage on it and you've accepted someone as being honest. So what did I do? I went back there. I had nowhere to go. I had a business. I had a gardening business. I had lorries. All the MOTs were running out. I had a phone answering service there. I had animals coming out of my ears. I had such a hobby. I had taxidermy, freezers full of taxidermy, which I was gonna eventually do, which I never got around to doing. So it all blew up out of proportion, and I had an injunction put on me to stay away from the property, which was impossible because I've got 2 dogs there, I've got animals there, I had to feed them. I couldn't be kept away. So I had a nervous breakdown. I went into Berrywood Hospital in Northampton. I had a mental breakdown because of all this abuse. It's psychological abuse. And when I came out of Berrywood Hospital, my house had been all boarded up and I had an injunction to stay away from the property I was still paying the mortgage on. So I thought, fuck you. I need clothes, I need my animals out of there. I don't know who'd been feeding my animals while I've been in there for a week, but they didn't look very well. She had obviously been in and out. We'd had boyfriends, cars blocking my drive. I couldn't get my vehicles out. So, in the end, I got an injunction on me. Stay away from the property that you own, that you're paying a mortgage on. I don't think so. So I went in. Police came with guns. They came armed to kill me. They were going to shoot me and kill me. So I had an axe, so I had no option. A copper put his head through. I said, I'll chop it off. I'll kill you. I did say that because they were going to kill me. And I was in my own property, which I owned. I set fire to it. I was hoping I would die in the process of it. If I would have died, it would have been the end of my problems, but I didn't die. I got overcome by fumes. And I thought of my father, which was a lovely man in my life. And he said, Tone, don't do it. And I thought, is it worth dying for this stupid crap? But it would have been. Because I lost a property which was valued at £365,000. I got nothing for it. She got £180,000 out of my property that she never put a penny into it. So you talk about rehabilitation. There's no rehabilitation. I came out of prison. I went back in prison. I got assaulted by the police. They beat me up. They smashed me up at Kettering Hospital. 2 security guards jumped in. They kicked me, they punched me. Obviously they knew her from the nursing issue. The judge said it was a travesty, they were bullies, they beat me up. I was depressed. The only offence I committed was taking paracetamols to end my life. And they absolutely treated me like nothing. And I'll tell you, I went to Crown Court in Northampton. I got acquitted of it. I had never committed an offence, but I've been recalled to prison. What happened? I should have been released that day. Was I hell? I was kept for another 16 months. And the probation wanted to do rehabilitation. Well, I'll tell you what, there is no rehabilitation. Any offence that you commit is down to you to judge how you want to deal with your life afterwards. There's no such thing as rehabilitation. These people don't want to help you. They don't want to help you. They want to diagnose you with a personality disorder. You're this, you're bad, you're mad. But you're not trying to get justice, you're just bad, you're mad. Oh yeah, you've lost your property, you've lost all your hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of work. But you're bad and you're mad, they're not. And it's some little parasitic copper doing his job. I believe that when they went in there, I believe he was having sex with my ex-partner, because he went into the house. He was in the house from 9 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the afternoon taking a statement. Matt Appleby, now come on. And I was stitched up. Well, I'll tell you what, there's no rehabilitation. I'll tell you what there is though, there's revenge.